Hi, welcome to Chatham Legends. I'm Gray, and this is my co-host Gabrielle. Today, we have Mr. Dennis here. He was born in 1955 and has been a resident of Chatham County since. His family has been an anchor in agriculture and they have family-owned dairy farms. Mr. Dennis has 2 degrees from NC State, 1 in poultry science and 1 in animal science. Thank you for joining us. Do you have, what changes have you seen in Chatham County since you've been here?
Probably the greatest change is the loss of agriculture in the county. And that really started to develop when it was incepted that they were going to build this lake. A lot of farms were lost due to that. That had been in families since before it was a county, when it was still Orange County.
Yeah. So you recall the formation of Jordan Lake. Do you have any stories on that?
I drove through there many times when it was still a 2-lane road and there was no lake.
Yes. So there was a lot of farmland taken.
Tremendous amount.
Tremendous.
Just basically, the majority of it was farmland.
And they had the meetings in Fayetteville, right? Or
I wasn't involved in those meetings, so I can't answer that question.
Yeah.
But I do know that there was a tremendous amount of people were displaced. A lot of them left the county.
Yeah.
So, is there like a story that of a significant, of other significant like changes or like progress that has taken place in Chatham County since you've been here?
Well, that lake was supposed to bring progress for a couple of reasons. I'm sure you're aware that the whole reason behind it is to protect buildings and farmland and things of that nature downstream because of the flood, and also to help hold water that could be released later for agricultural purposes. This is almost political. The Army Corps of Engineers was responsible for it, and after a period of time, they felt like it was time for it to be turned over to another entity. And they offered it to the county, and the commissioners at that time did not think that they wanted to take that project on.
Yeah.
So that's why we're where we are today, as far as being able to utilize the water or not. And the farms are still going.
Yes.
So
To me, that was not progressive.
Not for you, yeah.
So is there like any like, do you know anyone who was like their land or like was taken before Jordan, because of Jordan like being born? Like, do you know anyone that was like
The ones that would have been occupying it now are no longer with us.
Yeah.
They're deceased.
Did you know anyone? Like,
Yes, I knew the Horton families, the Yates.
and they left the county or they're not?
They were obviously they were in the lake area.
Yeah.
Question, do you have any other questions?
I do actually want to ask, so you were in the Chatham County school system, right?
Correct.
Can you tell us about that? Because
Yes, at that time there were 3 high schools in the county. One in Siler City,
yeah.
which is Jordan Matthews. One in Bear Creek, which is Chatham Central. They both still exist.
Okay.
And at that time it was Pittsburgh High School.
Yeah.
But before I graduated, they had built Northwood. They still were playing football in Pittsburgh. They didn't have the athletic fields completed at that time. I graduated high school in '73. The education in Chatham County must have been pretty good. A lot of my classmates got into very influential universities, Yale, Duke. Of course, I went to NC State.
Yeah.
We had agriculture. A lot of them made it into Carolina. They claim they got culture. I'm not sure they did.
Yeah.
But, and it wasn't just true for the school I went to. The same thing was true for Pittsburgh / Northwood and Chatham Central. I saw that slide a lot. The grade point averages that we had were dropped considerably. They've been picking back up in the last 10 or so years. The quality of the schools dropped off a lot, I think.
Yeah. Why do you think that would be specifically for Chatham County?
That's a good
I
question.
prefer not to answer that question.
Fair enough.
That's understandable.
Let's see. Let me get a different one.
Look at that. If you really want to, that's something you really need to answer for yourself.
Okay.
Because that will force you to learn more about what happened. And if you will look at what the demographics of the county, how they were changing from around 79, 80 through to 2010, that era, you'll see a big change in the demographics, not only the ethnicity, but also where their roots of where they're from.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt that any of y'all were born in Chatham County, were you?
No, I was not.
Actually, I'm from Chile, so I'm not from here.
Right.
I wasn't even born in the United
Possibly
States.
not even your parents.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any stories specifically that you want to share about your time in Chatham County that you think are significant?
Oh, man. During my period of time?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, gracious. Really, I don't know what I would. There's really not been anything that greatly outstanding that I participated in. I'm active in several different organizations. As far as any particular activity, I guess the thing that made the biggest impact on me was when they put this lake in, because that's when I saw the county starting to change a lot. And I didn't necessarily like it.
Yeah.
So it's the question about the school systems, because you said that there were 3 high schools.
3 high schools.
So were there how many like elementary schools or like middle schools were there not?
Oh gosh, I think there were 2. Bennett and Bonnelly were feeding Chatham Central, also Golston.
What is it? What was the thing you said?
Golston, there was a school, elementary school in Golston, North Carolina. And it fed Chatham Central. J.S. Waters is, have I got that correct? Yeah. Horton's in Pittsburgh. J.S. Waters was the elementary school that started feeding Central after the consolidation of schools.
So what's your point of view and like, what's your perspective like on if you think that building Jordan Lake was like a good thing or a bad thing? Like what's your perspective in that?
I don't understand the question.
Like do you think that when Jordan Lake was built, was it like a good thing for the county, or like more like depending on like how many people how people were affected by it? Like was it a good effect? Did it have a good effect on people, or did it have a bad effect on people?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, the bill.
I think he's saying, the building of Jordan Lake did it positively.
Okay, I didn't ever hear him say anything about
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
That's my fault.
No, that's good.
It's good. I'm worried.
As far as it, for recreation and people to both boating and fishing. That's been a big plus. Of course, recently we've lost a lot of people in it for drowning. But the downside was losing all the farmland and the way it was carried out. This thing didn't happen in just a short period of time. It was a long preparation period. And a lot of the folks they weren't willing to part with their land. And I don't know if you're familiar with how that's dealt with, but as progress takes place and infrastructure is built, lakes, parks, more highways, shopping centers, what happens? Paved over. So now you've got issues with erosion that you never had before. We've got our air quality is going to go down because we don't have as many trees to handle it. More vehicles. The downside of the lake itself is the fact that we don't control that water. Chatham County has no control over that water. That's a stickler to me. And that's been Chatham County has suffered for lack of large water sources. The Hall River is not that large. There's two main rivers that run through it, the Deep River and the Hall River. And neither one of those are very heavily, they don't carry a lot of water. And Deep River suffered dramatically with the amount of water that it had when they built a lake in Randolph County. I don't know if that may be something that's news to y'all.
Yes, it's in the news to us. Any other questions, Kristen?
I have one question I'd like to ask. It is, what is the role of storytelling in history, and why is it important to students?
Well, me being my ancestors coming over here from an area of England that you might have heard of before, Stratford, England. There's a pretty famous writer that came from there, William Shakespeare.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's something that the English people are well known for that, particularly the ones that migrated. It was a lot more difficult to have the written word in this country in the early 1700s. Because 1755 is when my people came to this part of the country. They had been in what is now Fayetteville for about 15 or 20 years. And they initially landed in Harrison's Landing on the James River in Virginia around 1715. So they couldn't bring so much with them, and then it was not easy. You couldn't just go to the bookstore or get on Amazon to get a book. So that was the way they communicated, not only religion, family history, the education, learning how to farm, learning how to work with numbers, learning how to read and write. They had to be done that way.
Interesting. Very interesting.
There's one, it kind of relates to this. How does oral history offer a richness that you lack with written history?
With written history, it's pretty much left up to your
point of view,
either your knowledge, your point of view, or your imagination. Unless you read only things that are published that have good bibliographies behind them, good research sources, and they're only as good as the people that are willing to utilize it. There's a lot of resources and bibliographies in the back of books that's what those numbers are when you read a historical account. It's referring you to that so that if you don't quite understand it or you want more knowledge, you got another place you can go to verify. Now, when you're talking to somebody, you still have to take their word for it. But that's one thing about, just like in this scenario, if y'all are looking at me, you can pick up on my body language to see whether or not you think I'm being truthful or I'm just shooting you a line of bull or what I might be doing.
Yeah.
But it does give you insight because there's going to be a personal point of view. One of my biggest hobbies is studying the war between the states, the American Civil War.
Yeah.
And me being I consider myself a living historian in that because I go beyond just reading about it. I actually participate in it. And when you're out there in the middle of it, you get a better feel for what really transpired.
Yeah.
You can't read that in a book. You can't get the feeling of marching 10 miles or 12 miles in a day's time, carrying everything on your back, and stopping and fixing your own food, sleeping under the stars, getting up and doing it again the next day. You can't get that out of a book. You can read about it.
Yeah.
But you can't get that reading it out of a book. So I think that the oral history part of it, that's where people that are interested that can relate to oral history, that's how you can learn more from them than you can from reading the book in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
It does answer my question.
Yeah.
It was a very nice answer.
It is nice to talk to somebody who's like been here a lot of knowledge. It's like really interesting to like learn about like different like things that we don't even know, that we never even knew that happened. Because we weren't even like born or so like it's very interesting to like do somebody like you, Mr. Dennis, about Chatham County history because you have a lot of knowledge and it's really impressive. And really good for people to know about Chatham County. So thank you for joining us.
We don't know if the time is up yet.
I don't know.
I have one at the end that I would like to ask because I think this is talking about some younger generations here. So we have a question, last question. Do you have a story or wisdom that speaks universal truth or a life lesson that would benefit younger generations?
Yeah, I think that history is not being properly presented in school systems.
Yeah.
Because there's too much that's being left out, and too much that's being put in that is not necessarily factual.
Yeah.
And that came about, in my opinion, because no one wanted to be the person that told somebody something that might be distasteful to them.
Yeah.
The word that we would have used growing up would have been to hurt your feelings. But I learned that word from a man a lot smarter than me. That a lot of things are distasteful to us.
Yeah.
There are many things that happened through the course of history that shouldn't have,
Yeah.
but they did. And if we choose to ignore them, sadly, it's already been proven that it will be repeated. It will be repeated. It's no different than if you were never told that if you put your hand in the fire, it's going to burn you. You never learned that.
Yeah.
And you put your hand out there, you're going to be burned.
Yeah.
So you're
But if you were taught, so now that will burn you. So if you're going, you're probably going to try it anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying that you learn things from experience a lot of the time, most of the time.
not necessarily having to live through it, but learning. That's what I was referring to, that I think that history has been sanitized.
Yeah.
And it's because the perception that someone might find it distasteful. Well, if you look hard enough, you're going to find somebody that doesn't like anything. I mean, not totally dislike everything, but if you look, no matter what you pick out, you like sweets, don't you?
Yes,
You like to eat sweets, right?
I like it.
Okay, I guarantee you there's somebody that you know that does not eat sweets. They don't like them.
I do know one person.
So there you go.
There we go. Is that okay?
So,
All right. I think it's going to be the end of our questions.
so thank you for joining us. It was great talking to you.
I hope I've helped.
You
You
very much
really
helped.
did help. Yeah, honestly.
All your experience here, so we loved it.
Yeah, we love that. We really love like talking to you, hanging out with you, like, and just learning from your experiences and knowledge was really interesting. So yeah, thank you.